Hello, my name is Lindsey Keith. I'm 29 years old, and I just want to take a moment to glorify God because I now have 33 months sober, and I'm the first graduate of This Is Living Ministries. This hasn't always been an easy road for me. I started experimenting with drugs when I was 13 years old, and I was really rebellious even though my family tried. I moved out on my own at 15 and grew up way too early. During those times, though, I always knew I was missing something. I always was reaching out to God because I grew up as a believer and I knew who He was and I knew what I needed. I grew up knowing Jesus, but in my rebellious mind, I wanted to just take the parts of the Word that fit me and suited me, and I began to pervert God's grace and God's truth. I overdosed in my basement when I was 19 years old, and God really shook the foundations in which I stood on. I got to experience what the separation of God's love felt like. I got to see a vision of hell itself, and God told me that I was on the wrong road, path to eternal damnation. But even then, my drug addiction still grew. I've suffered many losses in my life. People that I loved overdosing around me, my boyfriend committing suicide, a son that died. I eventually lost custody of my daughter, and I received an indictment in 2016 and started my jail time on August 14th of 2017, which is my sobriety date. Incarceration was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Even though the Lord didn't place me there, He really grew me while I was there. I started listening to His voice. It was telling me to be obedient, to actually read the Word and not pervert grace, to actually understand it and learn how to follow Him. I submitted to God in 2019 before I got out and told Him if He wanted me to go to a program, He needed to choose for me. And He chose This Is Living Ministries. In May of 2019, I arrived at This Is Living Ministries, and I knew immediately this is where I belong. While I've been here, I've been able to accomplish so much. I was able to hire my own attorney and receive visitation again for my daughter. I was able to obtain a driver's license. I was able to obtain a car. And now I've rented my own place. I have a stable foundation in the Lord. I have a new family that I never knew I could have. You know, the gates of heaven are open for the obedient, and I was able to graduate 2 weeks early and become an intern here now, and I now work here as a house manager, and things in my life have just been completely restored. God promises to restore what the locusts have taken, and I'm living proof that that can happen. I'm living proof that you can take a stand and change your life. By being here at this ministry, I've really been able to embrace the fruits that God's given me. I've been able to have peace. I've been able to go out and reach other people that I see are needy. I've been able to become a disciple and stand strong against the enemy. I've been able to love these other women coming in that need love, that need their foundation. I've been able to be a part of that, and I am so proud. If you would like to hear more about my story or some of the stories of the other women, or even would like to apply yourself to become a student and a disciple, please visit www.thisislivingministries.org or check us out on Facebook.